I'm speaking on this case, in a matter where I want to inform my followers from my legal knowledge and my expertise when it comes to this field, understanding, breaking down, and providing knowledge to you guys. As far as the Lildurk case, murder for hire, this is my favorite rapper. I think he's innocent, and I am in full support of Dirk. So I'm giving these reactions to what I'm reading in the indictment, and what I'm seeing is just me articulating what I see the federal government is trying to do to Lildurk and OTF. So I'm not trying to manifest this stuff. It's not me personally wanting this to happen to them guys. I'm in full support of Dirk. Free Dirk. Lildurk was initially arrested with a complaint. That's a federal agent, making a complaint to the judge, laying out why they believe they had probable cause to, arrest Dirk and hoping that the judge will issue a warrant. That's what they done to get Dirk arrested, because they felt like he was about to flee the country. Now, after they do that, they have 30 days to get an indictment, right? So, we see the other day, Lildurk was officially indicted and there was more charges added on, but nothing has really changed. Nothing really changed. It's just, he has been indicted by a grand jury. A grand jury is an investigating body of, 12 to more people who investigate, and the district attorney, presents his evidence to this grand jury. The defendant's lawyer cannot be present. So this is basically a district attorney's hearing where they present their evidence, and then a jury of people, a grand jury of people, decide if this district attorney has enough evidence for the crime they present, take these individuals to stand trial. So technically, a grand jury decided that that district attorney had established a prima facie case, and all that means that the district attorney has established, and they believe that they have evidence for every element of the crime they're trying to charge Dirk and them boys for. It doesn't mean that he's guilty. It's a famous saying that, the district attorney can indict a ham sandwich because they can spin in there. It don't mean that Lildurk is guilty. It just means that a grand jury has reviewed all of the evidence presented to them, and they find probable cause that there's evidence for every element of the crime they're charging Lildurk with, and he was charged with 2 additional new charges. Dirk started OTF in 2010, and members in OTF committed, violent crimes to further or increase their status in OTF. Bomb. When I see language like this, it smells RICO. Like the feds are being very careful, because I know they probably watch Young Thug, RICO trial and all the other trials. They're gonna make sure that they're being very careful. But this is the difference between the state and the feds. Young Thug trial was in the state. This is a federal indictment. Federal murder for hire. They got way more resources, and people keep saying, well, they got 98% conviction rate. Yeah, but 97% of 98 is cop-outs. Most people cop out when it comes to these, to the federal government and state government. When I was locked up in, Buffalo, New York, every county had 98% conviction rate. 97 was cop-out. People don't want to go to trial. As I review the totality of this indictment when it comes to Lildurk first, they got a bunch of informants. I feel like these informants haven't really answered the question to prove beyond a reasonable doubt Dirk's involvement in this case. One, they say he promised music opportunities and he promised money, but they never named a total or exact, dollar amount that he was supposed to pay. They don't have Lildurk on no phone calls specifying a specific dollar amount or, music opportunity, something like that, of that sort at all. I feel like it's a lot of things that's missing when it comes to this. Lildurk was going to LA. He had a podcast scheduled. They used a text message that I don't book no flights with nothing that's related to me. So all his team was gonna say, he was basically saying, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Don't link that back to me. That's not nothing that's criminal. You can't find a person guilty beyond a reasonable doubt with that. That's not evidence. That's not evidence. That's just him texting something, and they're going to try to use it to that's circumstantial at best. Right? And you can't base an inference off an inference. According to this indictment, they don't have Dirk recruiting nobody. So they're going to have it's an uphill battle for them to try to, convict Dirk. OTF jam. he did X, Y, and Z. He wore wire. He did this and that. So what I'm seeing from, different federal informants speaking online and speaking about this and saying they talk to jammed people, and it's just a bunch of hearsay, but hearsay is admissible in the federal grand jury, so I'm going to speak on hearsay that I'm hearing. He's saying Jam wasn't wearing a wire, but he was with federal agents and he was calling, different members of, OTF phone. I guess the phone was wiretapped or it was recorded, whatever the case may be. This man was in, federal custody or whatever, being charged with this crime. And I think he co-conspirator too. Calling, trying to trick different members of OTF, saying things such as, this is what he called Boogie and said, it's hot right now, man. Yeah, where they put them guns at? Just, saying things that get people to incriminate themselves. So, if that's the case, as a street dude, who telling. All of us, we just on the outside looking in, analyzing this stuff, trying to figure it out. But to do this inside that circle, if this shit is true, they know what transpired and what, what took place and who doing what. They know. Yeah, if you're an official member and you're a real member and you didn't do this, you would have been spoke out and cleared this up. This is Lildurk we're talking about. This ain't no regular Joe. This is the greatest we got from our generation. You would have been spoke out and said, no, I didn't do X, Y, and Z. This made me believe there is some truth to that. I know I've seen this happen on several cases where an individual catch a new charge or you get jammed up for a charge and the first person that talked, wins. So maybe Jam was a part of the situation and he got jammed up, don't know how, and now he decided he want to flip and work. A lot of times, rather than motherfuckers know that Dirk had nothing to do with it or not, the federal government, when they want to, target an individual, they say this. Rest in peace to my man Diddy. I remember Diddy was telling me he called 5 years because this plug told on him and said that, he had left his daughter's purse at the house. And that's what he really texted him and said that, but he was talking about the purse, but the plug lied and said he was talking about a brick. And the feds ran with that. So this is the games they play. They do play, and people keep saying, oh, the feds, when they come, they got, no, that's not always true neither. I done seen feds charge people with murders and drop them because, people recanted their statements also. I seen a case where a dude, he murdered an individual and then he got the case dropped because the person who was telling, they recanted their statement. So the feds dropped it. So it's cases where the feds, they come on some hearsay fishing shit too. They not just exact. All these police institutions, they be fishing. So we don't know what they got until it all comes out. But from what I see so far in the indictment, they got some informants. We don't know if these informants is truthful, if they're trying to get a deal because they got jammed up first. All these things will come to light as the trial goes on, and every individual is to proceed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. With all the resources and money that Dirk got, I expect him to fight this case fully, and making sure that all the government did everything they're supposed to do legally, which they never do. So there's gonna be loopholes that he's gonna find, he's gonna get shit suppressed. They always trying to be extra thirsty to get somebody. I believe a lot of individuals is gonna be lying on Dirk to try to save themselves, and I think he's innocent. But as we continue, I'm answering more questions that I've seen. Or the feds said Dirk was trying to commercialize the murder by rapping about it in wax and using the audio clip shortly after. Dirk's an entertainer. This is not a crime. My music, it shouldn't be used against me in court. I'm an entertainer. This is what the fans want to hear. This excite the fans. This is how I make millions of dollars. This is how, young black men who come from nothing, make it to become full platinum millionaires. This is what the fans want. And it's nothing more than just him being an entertainer, entertaining the press. His lawyer's going to argue that. And that's all it is, entertainment. I'm going to continue to cover this Lildurk OTF case. And what I feel like the feds is using different language. It's saying Dirk founded 2010 and people, did X, Y, and Z at the direction of Dirk. They're trying to label him as a kingpin, is what it seems like. And they're trying to get, they pushing, they probably searching right now to try to, find more cases to pin on these guys. It seems as if a RICO is what they want to do, but they want to be extra careful to make sure they got all the pieces to the puzzle. But on the language they're using, it smells RICO. I hope this is not the case. I hope that all these individuals stay solid and that everybody can get off. without receiving life sentences or whatever the case may be. And whoever, you know, but it's from what I see right now, it feel like the feds is building a case to try to, you know, grab these dudes on some RICO, racketeering type language. That's what they use. And they keep saying, you know, they committed crimes to keep their status or further their status in the OTF. All this language is, you know, equivalent to RICO racketeering charges. We gotta just sit out and wait, you know, free dirt.